By the end of the 1980s, it became obvious to the US government that their old strategies weren't working with the new giant cartels. None of their old methods worked. Wiretapping could cost a state a year's budget, the seizures were minimal, literally pocket money, and the informant system provided only the bits of information that were beneficial to the bosses themselves. So they developed a strategy called Kingpin. The cartels had become so big and were laundering so much money that it was no longer possible to hide it. All they had to do was follow the money. The DEA had its first major success with this strategy when it launched Operation Ice Cream to attack not the smuggling networks, but the financial networks of the Cali cartel. In 1989, the DEA set up its own front company, Trans-America Ventures Associates TAVA, and set it up in an upscale office in La Jolla, California. They chose Agent Heidi Landgraf, a beautiful blonde in her early 30s who spoke perfect Spanish, to run the operation. She was given a crash course in money laundering and moved into a fancy mansion with a garage of high-end cars from previous busts. To funnel the money back to Colombia, TAVA created a series of companies to circumvent the country's currency laws. The DEA then disseminated information that TAVA was a full-service laundromat willing to launder the proceeds of respected drug dealers. TAVA was so successful that it was named one of the top 100 Latin American companies in the country. Soon, the company's fame spread beyond California, and crime bosses began looking for ways to launder their money through the TAVA network. A DEA front company set up a complex import-export scheme in Rome to help move drugs and money generated by the alliance between the Cali cartel and the Italian Mafia. By the time Operation Green Ice was completed, it involved Canada, the Cayman Islands, Colombia, Costa Rica, Italy, Spain, and the United Kingdom, and was the first coordinated international drug trafficking operation in history. In 1992, undercover agents arranged meetings with some of the Cali cartel's financial managers in the United States, Italy, Spain, and Costa Rica, where they were arrested. Police involved in the operation around the world carried out the sweep, arresting more than 150 people and seizing $42 million in illegal profits. At a press conference, a senior Italian investigator said, "I would not hesitate to call this operation the most important ever carried out in Italy and Europe against drug trafficking and money laundering." Operation Green Ice had a lasting impact on drug trafficking. The DEA celebrated in the press we had disrupted the Cali cartel's communications, information and money flows, and trafficking patterns. Critics, however, questioned whether Operation Green Ice was worth the money and resources. The defendants were not the major criminals, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch reported at the time. The cartel is said to have dozens of key financial managers like them. We should not try to root out drug cartels around the world. Nevertheless, U.S. law enforcement, led by the DEA, continued other multi-agency operations that required significant man-hours and resources. For example, with Green Ice 2, the U.S. was able to identify nearly 40 bank accounts in Colombia and Panama that the Cali cartel used to launder drug money.